Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another banger video by Glaive Keo. Man has been on a bit of a hot streak when it comes to content in the Wuthering Waves scene. And today, we're going to be looking at his video, the Wuthering Waves hate meta, Outrage farming explained. And everybody knows what a meta is. You know, it's like the most popular thing for people to do. I would say in the past couple of weeks, it's been very popular to hate on this game. And kind of like farm content, farm viewers, Bob says, you know, just because he doesn't upload on YouTube doesn't mean he's making content. And you know how that works. Bro is farming view time on Twitch, farming ads on Twitch with whatever he's saying across all of his streams. And so bro is farming. Bro is making content, right? If it's on Twitch, if he's using it to retain viewers, I call that creating content. So with that, let's take a look. Let's see what he's got in store. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's check it out.
Right now, negativity and misinformation about Wuthering Waves aren't just a part of a conversation they dominated. From Reddit threads to Twitter posts, YouTube videos to Twitch streams, and the loudest voices are often the most inflammatory ones. And it's
I love how he showed Itoma on here. Bro is a bit of a shit stir, as they might say. He's got the most contradictory videos in Gacha gaming, the most satirical ones. I highly suggest you check them out if you want to lose brain cells. And also have a couple of laughs.
It's not because their points are valid, it's because rage sells. And for most people, when you rage, you hate. And hate is a strong feeling. So strong that Tectone made an entire channel profiting from
Why is bro just start off the video by like shitting on like 5 people at once? Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
from said hate.
I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
Why don't you write children's books, Techie? You could be the new Dr. Seuss at this point. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good, but like, I don't know where you learn how to do that.
Now here's the truth. Outrage is algorithmic gold. Platforms like YouTube and Twitter thrive on engagement, and nothing gets people typing faster than a hot take, even if it's built on flimsy arguments or outright lies. When someone drops a bold claim, something like, let's say, Wuthering Waves doesn't deserve its awards, or Genshin Impact devs is actually so generous, or
hey, they finally upgraded beyond 3 pulls over 3 years. They have genuine rewards for Lantern right now. I do believe it was 20 pulls. So, you know, they're learning. They're learning. And you know what? You know who we have to thank for that? Good old Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves for the most changes Genshin Impact has seen in its lifetime. Ironic how it all happened in less than a year.
Oh, but Saint, but these changes, they were planned months in advance. They were planned years in advance. What do you mean it was prompted by Wuthering Waves? It all happened. It was planned.
Stop it. Just shut up. Stop it. Just shut up.
or Zenless Zone Zero is not a Gooner game. It doesn't matter if you think it's right or blatantly wrong. What matters is that people react to it. That's the point. And I think people are starting to catch on. Creators big and small are learning that rage baiting and hating on Wuthering Waves is the meta. And that's the problem, because when outrage becomes a currency, misinformation becomes a tool. That's a bar, and I need you to let that sink in. You need to understand that this pattern isn't limited to small creators. It scales up. And when you look at someone like Vars too, the cracks in...
Maybe I just don't say anything here. Maybe I just don't say anything here. I'll just not say anything here. Because maybe I'll say something that I regret. I'm just gonna stay silent here and see what the points are.
In this trend becomes even more obvious. The thing about Vars too is that he has a slow, soft-spoken voice with his smooth delivery and
Slow, soft-spoken voice. My name is Vars, and I'm here to tell you how to suck balls at Wuthering Waves. First, you're going to activate your Stella realm, and then not use an intro skill for 30 seconds, and wait until it expires, and then talk about why team building Wuthering Waves sucks.
confident tone, he projects expertise, making his critiques sound credible even if they're wildly inaccurate. For example,
the support category is effectively non-existent.
I'm about to have a heart attack. if you look past the obvious anger in this video, I think it's objectively hilarious. I'm gonna be honest. I think it is objectively hilarious. This bro just said the support category doesn't exist in Wuwa. Huh? Hey, I think a great sign as a CC is when you can look back at your old content and you laugh at it too. I think that's a sign of quality content, in my opinion. I could watch this video again and I think I'd be laughing half the time. Oh, good times. What is wrong with you? It's right here.
Statements so
That's a good
wildly
censor.
inaccurate that it's hard to believe that he even played the game properly. But Saint Tontas has already made a breakdown video on his channel, so if you want to see Saint Tontas lose his balls to the speed granny, go ahead and watch it. But
That's a crazy reference.
like to talk about something he kind of didn't elaborate with. What's particularly striking to me is how this Vars 2 video feels less like a Wuthering Waves critique and more like an advertisement for Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Let me show you what I mean.
The issue is that compared to other
True.
gachas where you have characters working in concert with one another to achieve a collective goal greater than the sum of their individual parts, the impression I get from WUWA is that it's just mostly individual units being put together, purely for the sake of it being convenient to do so, not necessarily having actual synergistic playstyles. Oh,
You could say that Wuthering Waves is relative to games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. It is missing the glue.
oh, he's
That was
just
a terrible
another
mix,
generic
sorry.
attacker. Oh, she's another generic healer. It's not a, oh, he's the first glacial support, she's the first arrow driver, what have you.
Now from that alone, you might be tilted. I understand because Saint Tontas is too, but have you ever asked, who is this content really for? Who is he targeting? It's certainly not Wuthering Waves players. They would immediately notice the inconsistencies. Instead, it seems to be tailored for an audience that is predisposed to dislike the game. Hoyoverse fans or general gacha players already primed to view Wuthering Waves through a negative lens. When you realize this, then you might think that Vars' approach to this issue is genius. His misinformation is tailored to Hoyoverse fans. The comparisons he draws, Genshin is better at this, HSR does this right, Wuthering Waves fails, are crafted to appeal to an audience.
Man, this point I should have been more angry about this point. The Wuwa characters are generic, unlike Genshin. I should have tore into this one a bit more.
Hey guys, look at my amazing John Lee. All I do is I switch to the character, I hold E and then swap off.
It's like half the fucking characters in the game. Except sometimes you press E instead of holding it. Like, how?
That is already inclined to believe it. Yes, Varsu, you're so right. Genshin and HSR is better than Wuthering Waves, or should I say, Gathering Wives.
Hey, Techie, look what you've done. You made all the Wuba CCs gain a zesty ass voice. Look at what you've done, brother man. They zesty af now, bro.
Suck my nuts, Hoyo Show. The danger here isn't just
just put
Vars
my
spreads
face on there.
misinformation, it's that his tone makes it stick. Viewers might walk away believing his takes without even cross-referencing or trying the games themselves. And when someone with a large platform perpetuates these narratives, it sets a precedent. You can say anything about Wuthering Waves, no matter how detached from reality, and still be rewarded with views and engagement. These creators aren't critiquing Wuthering Waves to improve the game. They're critiquing because it works. Hate farming isn't about the truth, it's about the clicks. And the scariest part, the more of these narratives spread, the harder it becomes for genuine feedback to be heard.
I think what a lot of people don't necessarily recognize is that you should have a very adverse reaction to very large CCs with a large audience saying shit like this. Because, as we all know, people will just believe what somebody says without proof, evidence, any of that stuff, just because they might have a track record of having good content, right? So it's a very slippery, it's literally like a slippery slope of just like, hey, I've got the audience that's just gonna like my videos at like 80, 60, 70% regardless. I'll just say whatever the hell I want. And if nobody calls them out on basis of them being a larger CC, they can just keep doing it. But what I'm enjoying right now is obviously, right, Glaive. Glaive ain't the biggest CC ever, right? 6.27K. Obviously, he gained some good views on this video, but he's still only 6.27K. That's not a lot relative to somebody like Vars sitting over here with like fucking 124 on his second channel. And so once smaller CCs get more comfortable pointing this shit out, and honestly, bigger CCs get less comfortable with just saying whatever the fuck they want. That's gonna be good for the game, good for the space. Actual slop content being created over here. Genuinely slop content from Vars. Some people got mad at me for saying it was a ChatGPT script. I honestly think it was. I honestly think it was. At least part of it was written by an AI.
It's not just bad criticism, it's calculated content designed to farm outrage and appeal to the meta of Wuthering Waves hate. The strategy isn't limited to big names, it's becoming the playbook for success. The worst outcome would be people that watch the video echoes the same things as they do.
And I am so glad that I saw Vars's video 10 minutes after it released. Maybe it was like 5 minutes after it released. It was like the freshest upload ever, and I was on it. I was literally on it when it had like 40 comments.
It's gonna be a ripple effect one to the other. But here's where things get really messy. When even a larger voice, people who should know better, start amplifying this trend, and that—
Uh-oh, buddy. Uh-oh, buddy. Looks like somebody else got onto this, Bobbit. Looks like somebody else. It's about to be Korean on Korean crime. Only in this case, I think you're the North and I'm the South, buddy.
That's where Fobmaster come in.
Jinshi and fucking Changli kind of play the same fucking way.
I'm gonna be honest, Fob. That's the worst clip in Gacha gaming. I want to count how many words that is.
Jinshi
1,
and
2, 3.
Changli kind of play the same fucking way.
Kind of play the same fucking way. That's 8 words. Those are the worst 8 words in Gacha gaming. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, you give anybody else 8 words and they could not have fucked it up harder than you. Literally give anybody 8 words to like make the worst take possible. I don't know if anyone could beat that. If I'm frankly, maybe it's 9 words. However many words it was, you give that same number of words to any other CC in the space. I don't think anybody could have done worse. This was insane. Actually insane.
Changli kind of play the same fucking way.
What the fuck?
Fobmaster right now is legit a villain for the community of Wuthering Waves. Consider him the Shigaraki Tomura that destroys everything he touches. In this case, he is touching the Wuthering.
Hey, wait, there's a tweet by Fob I want to pull up. All right, we got this tweet over here. I think it's just extremely relevant to the discussion, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, he was like,
Well, time for my yearly show how much of a loser I am post. Let's go! Obviously, I do not keep up with every game as much anymore, or I'd actually be homeless, but I still played a lot of these games or still do play them actively. Don't let me in with those Genshin Wave gacha players.
bro shows like the historical logs of like the 17 gacha games he's played. And all I can think is, just because you spent over a decade on subpar experiences, that doesn't make you like an authority on the modern ones. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, look at all these shitty games I played in the past. What does that have to do with the higher quality ones? Maybe playing this many games, buddy, is what led to whatever the fuck take this was. Maybe you got brain rotted from 10 years of playing Grand Blue whatever and all that other shit. And then maybe you should have played more PGR instead, right? Led to the craziest take in gacha gaming.
Shigaraki Tomura that destroys everything he touches. In this case, he is touching the Wuthering Waves community. The things he has said might have damaged Wuthering Waves more than all of the other gacha content creators combined.
Well, Saint Tontas, just like you excused Kuro Games for 1.3 or 1.4 being dog shit for prepping for 2.0.
1.3 and 1.4 being dog shit? He said that 1.3 is dog shit? Bro, what?
Actually, Genshin Impact is prepping for 5.
I feel like saying that 1.3 was dog shit is a bit of a wild take. Proof?
5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.6 for 6.0. They're prepping Snezhnaya, right?
Wrong. They have been preparing since Mondstadt to do Snezhnaya. That's right. They have been preparing since Mondstadt, Fob.
And actually, HSR, the reason why Rappa's patch was so dog shit and boring is because they're preparing for fucking 3.0.
Banana?
And actually, Z's.
I'm actually so glad I quit that fucking game. because I would have for sure like blown a gasket playing 2.6. I've seen the gameplay of it. I've watched like the gameplay walkthrough of it. I feel like I would have broken something on my desk.
ZZ, they actually need the next couple patches as well to prepare for the next one.
He can't say it.
All right, bro is not beating the Hoyo's strongest defender allegations. Hoyo's strongest warrior.
Anything about ZZZ because it's been good for ZZZ. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy, Fob? Like, think about it. Ain't that a little bit crazy?
So if we use your argument, technically every gacha game can have dog shit patches because, oh, they're just preparing for their next version.
Now that is a lot to unpack. And luckily, again, Mr. St. Taunt has made a video reacting to it and addressing about all the misinformation and blatant bullshit. But
bro's just advertising for me.
Again, there's something he doesn't really talk about, and it's when he said this.
I think this guy's got like gacha victim syndrome. I'm a diagnosed a new disease. It's called gacha victim syndrome.
Hey, based off this tweet, Bob, this is a new diagnosis. But there's only a select few that have it. Gacha overload brain rot syndrome. Where every game you played in the past starts melding together into your head and alters your perception of what you're actually playing. So much to the point where all of these past experiences have you saying shit like Jinxie and Chang Li play exactly the same. There's such a thing as too much of a good thing.
They feel like their gacha game is looked down upon and not respected enough, so they feel like they need to overglaze to make up for it. I'm telling you, Saint Tontas, plenty of people love Wuthering Waves. Stop reading Twitter. All right, on Twitter, people hate everything. Okay, like stop playing the victim here and pretending like Crow Games is a small indie company, fucking poor man, like a gacha company that makes no money and like, you know, they're barely making it through. Because guess what? If that was the case, Girls Frontline should have EOS a long time ago.
I think there are many people in the gacha space that believe that Girls Frontline is actually a money laundering scheme, and just based off of its overall popularity, right? Hey, I think it's fueled by opium and cryptocurrency, not players, buddy.
Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, oh well, Fob Master is a troll and he rage baits. He's stupid and he's short. But I think in all seriousness, Fob Masters knows what he's doing. Now, by framing Wuthering Waves players and creators as overly sensitive or melodramatic, calling them having the gacha victim syndrome, he invalidates genuine frustration with the misinformation and blatant hate being spread. His words, like Twitter and Reddit hates everything, and Kuro is a multi-million-dollar company, shift focus away from their reoccurring problem, bad faith criticism thriving unchecked. But again, let's ask the real question: who is he speaking to? It's certainly not the Wuthering Waves community. This rhetoric is laser targeted at an audience that already hates the game. People who...
Hey, all I'm saying is you can look at the chats, right? You can look at the chats of certain creators like Pokey, like Fob. My God, sometimes when they start playing the game, like when they start playing Wuwa, their chats go absolutely ballistic. And I'm gonna be honest, I think the main reason that Pokey quit Wuwa like a month after launch, that wasn't because he didn't like the game. I think he actually does like the game. It's the fact that his chat simultaneously loses 50 IQ points, and then they also like turn on like aggro mode the second that they see the game on his screen. It's absurd. And like obviously, right, if your chat is just PvPing the entire time that you're playing something, it's gonna get tiring after a while. But you know what I did? That started happening when I was playing ZZZ like the first time. My chat started PvPing. You know what I did? I banned the person with the skull over their head. The skull over their head means that they started the PvP, and so I banned them. You know what I mean? You know, that's a mechanic in RuneScape. That's a mechanic in like, you know, all the other like open world PvP games. If they got the skull over their head, they initiated PvP, I banned them. It's really just that easy, folks. It's really just that easy.
Who aren't looking for a nuanced discussion, but for a confirmation of their biases. I'd like to believe that Fob Master isn't clueless. He is calculated, and he...
Fob Master might not be clueless, but brother is glueless.
To believe that Fob Master isn't clueless, he is calculated, and he knows exactly what kind of audience this framing appeals to, and he is leaning into it. And when I'm talking about this, I'm sure you have a lot of other content creators in mind, and that just serves my point even more.
Who? Say the names. Drop the list. Drop the list. We need the Glaive Keo list, ladies and gentlemen. We need the list.
The issue here isn't that Fobmaster dislikes Wuthering Waves, it's how they frame the conversation. Instead of addressing bad faith arguments or misinformation, they dismiss, deflect, and effectively fanning the flames of negativity while pretending to remain neutral. It's not just about their opinions, it's about how their words empower the meta of hate farming. Whether intentional or not, their content amplifies an environment where negativity is rewarded, misinformation spreads unchecked, and valid frustrations are silenced under the guise of "you're just playing the victim." Wuthering Waves community. Now you might be saying,
It's an awful meta, isn't it? Hey, I'm just gonna go over here. I'm gonna talk some shit about stuff that I don't understand. I'm literally gonna make shit up. And if you defend the bullshit that is coming out of my mouth,
You're just a victim, bro. Why are you such a victim? What? Everybody likes the game. What are you talking about?
but it's just like, bro, no. That's not what's happening, bro. It's not that simple. You're reducing this entire situation to like two sides when it's clearly not. You know, at its worst, it's disingenuous. At its best, it's just like stupid. Stop being stupid.
now Glaive, you might be reaching. Like Fobmaster is trying to reach the top shelf, you are reaching. I get it. Now I've given you the proof that
Fucking
supports
hell.
my opinion. Why do these things happen in your opinion? Again, let me open your mind though, because this is not just a Wuthering Waves problem. It's a growing issue across the entire gacha game community. Hate farming and misinformation have become a currency in the content creation space. Whether it's for views, engagement, or clout, creators are realizing that negativity spreads faster than constructive critique.
But as we're quickly learning, while negativity might spread faster than constructive critique because you're farming the haters, well, guess what? When you farm the haters a little bit too much, then counter negativity that shits on your criticism, that starts picking up speed as well. So, hey, it's just action. You know, it's action and then a response. Action, then reaction. That's how it works. And the reaction right now is a lot better than the action. Let's just say that. Because when your action is based off of bullshit that can quite literally be disproven with like a Google search, Vars coming in and saying hypercarry and dual DPS teams play exactly the same. Bro, it's like when that is the action, it takes quite literally like 10 seconds. 10 seconds to prove that wrong. Why make it so easy? Why you literally have a 700 gold bounty and you just walked into their base. You just walked past 2 turrets into their base with a 700 gold bounty. And you're like, how did I die? Whoa, what happened? How could this have happened? Oh my gosh, why'd you guys do that? You just committed a crime on camera, then walked into the police station, and you're wondering how you got caught. Think about it for like half a second what you did.
We've seen this cycle before in other communities. Let's say Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, even Tower of Fantasy. Whether a game stumbles or even if it doesn't, there's an audience waiting to see it fall. But here's the catch. This pattern doesn't just harm the games, it harms the communities. It creates division, discourages new players, that's a really important thing, and silences creators who genuinely want to share meaningful feedback. At its worst, this trend sets a dangerous precedent. Why?
That's the big thing that a lot of people don't factor in. This might be an odd framing, but just let me explain it. Made up criticism for Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail, it doesn't really matter that much. You wanna know why? Because the devs aren't fucking listening to you anyways, right? You could just say whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't really matter because they're just ignoring everything regardless. But on the Wuthering Waves side, you actually have developers that give a shit about the game, that are willing to listen and actually put in changes that people are suggesting. And so bullshit criticism that doesn't make sense, that's just literally manufactured for Outrage, that could genuinely have an impact, especially when you have big CCs saying it, and it's extremely easy for their viewers or adjacent viewers to start parroting it as well. And then that could then start being viewed as legitimate critique that the devs feel like they have to take action on. That's a lot different, right? If they actually do take action on the bullshit critique and then actively make a change that makes the game worse. That's entirely a possibility because of the fact that the devs actually make changes based off feedback to their fucking game. And I know, it's odd to see. It's odd to see after 4 years of Genshin Impact A dev that actually sees critique and then makes changes a version later. I know, it's crazy. You've never seen it before. And so you're a little bit overwhelmed. You don't understand. Your brain is like not connecting the dots because it's something so deeply unfamiliar to you. But it's okay. It's okay. Because it's only been 7 months of Wuwa. It'll soon be a year, then a year and a half, then 2 years. And you'll finally see what a dev that actually cares about their game looks like. And then you can take those observations and take those findings and then start applying them to Hoyoverse and get them to get off of their ass and start being like Kuro. Because that's what would be best for your game. But it's difficult to see that right now. But you will soon.
Improve when outrage pays better. Why make constructive criticism when rage baiting does better? Food for thought. But now, it's time we recognize hate farming for what it is. Not genuine critique, but a manipulative tactic designed to exploit anger and negativity for personal gain. At the end of the day, this isn't just about defending Wuthering Waves, it's about preserving a space for genuine discourse and critique in gaming communities. Particularly Gacha right now, right? Hate farming and misinformation aren't just annoying, they're actively damage how communities grow and how developers receive feedback.
True.
Constructive criticism pushes game forward. Outrage bait pulls everything backward. As viewers and players, we have a responsibility to think critically about the content we consume. Ask yourself, is this critique backed by evidence? Does it offer solutions? Or is it just noise designed to stir outrage? Because every click, every share, and every comment feeds into the cycle. And if we want better games and better communities, it starts with how we engage with the conversation around them. So next time you see someone that is farming, ask yourself, are they helping? Or are they just fob master?
Why do I even do outros when that's just better? Why do I even waste time on outros when I can just say, when I could just drop one of the coldest one-liners of 2024 right as the year is fucking ending? Just drop one of the coldest fucking one-liners ever without even trying. Like, be a good, helpful person, have valid critiques, do everything well, be a model member of the community, or be fob master. That's crazy. So, right off the bat, Mr. Glaive Keo, that was an amazing video. And I am so glad that you decided to go in much deeper into creators like Vars. You did mention Fob in your prior vid, where you're talking about hypocrisy. Obviously, you didn't do it. You didn't expand into it that much. But boy, you ripped into him for real with this one. And I think you live in Singapore. I believe that's what it is. So honestly, East Asia is just up in flames right now. This is basically like World War III. It's basically like World War III. And brother, I think that you're the person that's the biggest pusher of it at this point. So we're going to see how this situation develops. What I would love to see is Fob actually react to this on stream. But I don't think he's going to. For reasons. But it would be good to see what his reaction is. I'd love to see a video on Fob Yaps. With him talking about it. So yeah, awesome video, man. Great research. I think you summarized the situation perfectly. And I think you are riding the counter wave of Wuwa hate. Like the counter to that, the reaction to that. I think you're doing it very well. I think you're farming, brother, man. And I'm excited to see how you grow. So with that, give him a like, subscribe. I'll like the video as well. Definitely something for us to, you know, like see how the situation develops. And yeah, see y'all next time. Peace.